What up, YTBC? What up, boxing fans? It's been a while. I've been away for a minute. Had take a vacation. Had some death in the family. A lot of long stuff, man. There's no need to get into it. So I'm happy to be back. This is like an outlet for me, man. Because I love boxing. I love to talk about boxing. I try my best to stay on top of the sport. You know. But yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about the sport, man. Let's talk about boxing, man. Recently, we had a couple of fights. We had Adrian Broner versus Sean Porter, and we had Andre Ward versus Paul Smith. Now, let's talk about the Adrian Broner fight. You know, this is a fight I think could have been a better fight if they managed Adrian Broner better, man. I always thought that Sean Porter would beat this man after I seen how Madonna bullied Adrian Broner. I think we all knew the styles, what styles work for each fighter, and what style give each fighter problems. If you're gonna fight Sean Porter, you gotta be on the move. You can't be a stationary target. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a stationary target. And that's the thing. That's what I don't. That's why I don't see Sean Porter beating a Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather is never a stationary target. He makes guys who can cover large distances like Manny Pacquiao look like amateurs, man. And people are going to come here and get mad because I said that, but that's what he make Pacquiao look like that night. And I don't care. I tried to tell people about the injuries before and they didn't believe me. So, and I told nobody there should be no excuses if Pacquiao loses this fight. All right? Anyways. Sean Porter's style is a style where you cannot be flat-footed in there. If you're flat-footed in there, because Sean Porter's a very strong kid. Like I said, they say he's a football player. Well, football players are pretty strong. All right? I played the sport. He's a strong kid from legs, from bottom up. And he will bully you. He will charge in, swarm your punches, you know, and he will hit you with all types of different combinations. He may not be crisp, he may not be skilled, but what he is, he's a strong kid with a lot of heart. I don't think Sean Porter is the epitome of a slick boxer. I don't think he's that type of fighter where he is that skillful. I think he's the type of guy who comes in there to fight. He has a hunger and he'll give it everything he got. I know a guy like that back in the day when I was in the gym. He fought just like that. He still fights now. I think he's turning pro. He still fights that way. He fights like Sean Porter. He's a young kid. I think he's turning pro now. But we knew going into styles that would give Adrian Broner problems, and we knew the styles that gives Sean Porter problems. We knew how their two styles conflict, and we knew the possibilities of Sean Porter winning were at very high. They were like at least 80%. And that's why I keep trying to tell people, if you're a boxing fan, you've been watching these fighters long enough, don't say, oh man, I didn't think this was going to happen. No, don't say that. Don't say that. I didn't think this was going to happen. No. Because if you've been watching the fighters long enough, you know these things about these fighters. And then that's why when people come to me, oh man, they start talking about this person's going to be that person. But then when it doesn't happen, you go, oh man, I didn't think this was going to happen. No, you knew this was going to happen. You've watched these fighters long enough to know what's wrong with them and what kind of style will give them some trouble and if they can deal with it. All right? You've watched them long enough to know these things. The only thing that can change when it comes to fighters is father time. All right? Anyways, man, Adrian Broner should have been brought up in a totally entirely different way. The man was a beast at 130, was it 130, 135? And on his way up, they skipped the man a weight class. You don't do that to fighters. You let them go weight class to weight class, but you don't skip weight classes. The guy didn't even know if he could take the power of 140-pound fighters. You put him in there with a 170-pound fighter, Maidana, who hits like a truck. All right, who walks around at 200 and something pounds. You don't want to do that with a young fighter, man. You know, I think it was mismanagement on their part with this kid. All right, the kid was a good upcoming kid with a lot of talent. All right, and also this kid, he's very immature. He has a lot of talent, but he's immature. He doesn't take his work seriously, man. He does not. And one thing you always got to remember: hard work beats talent, man. Hard work beats talent. The only way you beat hard talent, the only way talent beats hard work is if the talent is working hard himself. Then there's no chance, there's no hope for the talentless people. There's no hope for them. All right? Now, let me just say this. Congratulations to Sean Porter. And I knew this was going to happen because you can tell what's going to happen. People need to stop saying they didn't know, they didn't realize this was going to happen. You knew this was going to happen. You know this. You've watched the fighters. You see what the styles are. How can you not know? I hate when people say that. The only thing is you can get a lucky punch. And that doesn't always happen with all type of fighters. Some fighters, the lucky punch may never receive that lucky punch. You understand what I'm saying? So all I'm saying to you is, as a boxing fan, stop saying you didn't know. If you've been following the fighters, you know what their problems are. You know what they're good at. You know what they're bad with. And they can't change themselves all of a sudden in one day. It's not going to happen. You knew Adrian Broner had a problem with guys who swarm him. You know this already. So did you even expect him to have that much of a chance to win? You know this guy is never serious about his training. You know all this stuff. Anyways, man. Congrats to Sean Porter. And for his next fight, man, people are saying they want to see Floyd fight Porter or Thurman or Bird or whoever. To me, I say like this, man. You know what? I'm going to talk about this in the last part of the video, all right? I think Sean Porter has plenty of guys he could fight. Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, get in there. And to be honest with you, Sean Porter needs to fight Keith Thurman not needs, but that will be one of the best fights. Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman, just to see how those two can deal with each other's styles. All right, if Sean grew from the Kell Brook fight and he's able to adjust to a mover with power and a good jab, and how does Keith Thurman deal with a swarmer? All right. Anyways, let's move on to Andre Ward and Paul Smith. I think Andre Ward is one of those guys the boxing world is trying to shut out. The fans are trying to shut him out. And nobody wants to talk about this man. This great boxer with the highest level of skill in mind. A guy who's humble and who doesn't talk smack. A guy who is well-mannered. A great father, a great husband, so far, so what we know of. You know what I'm saying? The perfect model that kids should be following. Perfect role model. But now, the thing is, the boxing world, which when I say boxing, I mean the fan, there's a fear. There's a fear rooted in these fans. The fear that Andre Ward symbolizes. There's a fear for what Andre Ward is. And a lot of you know what I'm talking about. They're afraid of what this man is, man. If you didn't buy into the propaganda all these years, then you know what I'm talking about right now. The problem is, the fear is, oh my God, another one of those guys that people can't beat. So what we're going to do is we're going to snuff him out. take away the attention so that nobody knows who the hell he is. Because if he starts being the face of the sport and nobody can beat him, then we're screwed again. We're screwed again. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep everything about him quiet. We're not going to allow him to make no noise in the sport. We're not going to talk about him. We're not going to write about him. It's like this man is really being snuffed out. And we need to talk about Andre Ward a lot more, man. And this fear has always been there with boxing fans. Ever since Jack Johnson, man. Ever since Jack Johnson, this fear has always been there. Now, here's what I wanted to say about this whole Floyd Mayweather fighting whoever he's fighting thing. You see, me, I understand boxing history, and I follow it, and the things that I've seen live and the things that I had to research and find out. You know, Jack Johnson came into the game speaking his mind, saying what he wanted to say. And guess what happened? He ended up broke. The government screwed him over. They chased him around the world. I promised him that if he loses a fight, they'll take care of it. They'll forgive him. And they still screwed him over. And then came guys like a guy named Joe Louis, who thought it would be best if he shut the fuck up, bowed down to everybody, to all the other people. That's whites and whoever else that don't like us. And be quiet, be humble, and even give them money from money he earned to help their government, that they would like him. And guess what, Joe Louis? You got fucked over too. Same thing happened to Ray Robinson. All these greats, same thing happened to them. All right? So don't expect me to feel some type of way if Floyd decides tomorrow that he's fighting a guy who has one professional fight. Because he already did the things that you didn't think he was going to do. The things you said he would never do. He would never fight Canelo. He'll never fight Cotto. He'll never fight Pacquiao. He already did all that shit. So fuck that. I want him to ride off in the sunset with all his money. So that Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Ray Robinson can sit up in their graves and say hell the fuck yes. So they can sit somewhere laughing. And I'm sure they are right now, wherever they're at. They're laughing and saying, hell yeah, Floyd, fuck these motherfuckers. And all of you who still trying to find a way for this man to fight somebody that can be a threat, or make him go fight Kovalev. He needs to fight Kovalev. Nah, fuck that. He could do whatever the hell he wants to do now. And I want him to ride off into the sunset so he could give all you fucking subliminal racist motherfuckers the big fucking finger. Fuck you. And we know why you want him to fight these people that you want him to fight. We know why. Well, the ones of us who actually have some fucking brains. You can sit there, but that's not why I just want to see him challenge. No, you don't. Because if you just want him to see him challenge, you would have already understood that in his respectable weight, when things are unfair for him, with guys that are bigger than him like Canelo, he still proves that they are no match for him. So there's no need to be looking for a challenge anymore. So now what you're doing is you really literally want to tie his hands behind his back and let him get beat. That's what you're trying to do. So all that shit is bullshit. Anyways, man, I look forward for him to retire with an O and a whole lot of money. Because Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Ray Robinson didn't get a chance to do that. Because y'all fucked them over. Anyways, man, I'm going to say it like this. We're looking forward for when this man's gone, so the new guys could get the attention now. And we got to start focusing on some other shit. And all you haters, I hope when Floyd leaves, it leaves you with a pain in your heart. Because Muhammad Ali didn't get a chance to do it to you. Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Ray Robinson. So fuck you.